Every moment we engage in forming new neurological connections, we are actively participating in a process of genetic modification. This fascinating biological mechanism occurs at the cellular level, where the DNA within a neuron receives a signal, prompting it to extend a new branch, like structure known as a dendrite, to establish a connection with other neurons. This intricate process is the cornerstone of our brain's remarkable ability to learn, grow, and adapt. The creation of these new neural pathways is not just a superficial change. It represents a profound transformation at the very core of our being, where genetics and experience intertwine. Each new experience, thought, choice, or emotion triggers a cascade of biochemical reactions within our brain, leading to the strengthening or formation of neural connections. This is the essence of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Neuroplasticity is a dynamic and ongoing process. It's not limited to childhood or adolescence. It continues throughout our entire life. This means that our brains are continually reshaping themselves in response to our experiences, thoughts and emotions, thoughts and emotions when we learn a new skill, ponder a new idea, make a different choice, or feel a new emotion. We are essentially rewiring our brain, modifying its physical structure and function. However, the flip side of this remarkable adaptability is equally significant. If we cease to engage in new learning experiences or expose ourselves to novel ideas and emotions, our neurological growth can become stagnant. Without new stimuli, the brain's potential for change is not fully realized, leading to a plateau in both neurological and genetic development. This stagnation can affect various aspects of our mental and emotional well being, including our capacity for creativity, problem solving, and emotional regulation. Moreover, the changes in our brain structure are not merely a response to physical actions or tangible experiences. Even our thoughts and emotions, intangible and often fleeting, can have a tangible impact on the brain's architecture. For instance, habitual negative thinking can strengthen neural pathways associated with anxiety and depression, while practicing mindfulness or positive thinking can reinforce pathways associated with well being and resilience. The implications of this are profound. It means that we have more control over our brain's development and functioning than we might have previously realized. By consciously choosing our thoughts, engaging in new learning experiences, and exposing ourselves to diverse emotions and perspectives, we can actively shape the architecture of our brain. This is not just an abstract concept, it's a physical reality, with each new experience leaving a tangible imprint on our neural landscape. The process of learning and internalizing new information is akin to installing new neurological hardware in our brain. This intricate process involves more than just the acquisition of knowledge. It fundamentally alters the brain structure as we repeatedly engage with and reinforce this new information. It gradually transitions from being merely hardware, a physical network of neural connections, to becoming akin to software. This transformation results in an automatic response, seamlessly integrated into our daily actions and reactions. This phenomenon is at the heart of how habits and skills are formed. Neurons, the fundamental units of the brain, connect and communicate through synapses. Each time we learn something new, a set of neurons gets activated in a specific pattern. With repeated activation, these neurons begin to develop stronger, more efficient connections. Over time, these repeatedly activated neural pathways form robust networks, which are the neurological underpinnings of our skills and habits. The transformation of these neural connections into automatic behaviors is a remarkable aspect of human neurobiology. Consider the process of learning a language. Initially, understanding and speaking a new language requires considerable effort and conscious thought. Each word and grammatical rule is a piece of information that our brain must process and store. As we practice and become more fluent, These linguistic processes require less conscious effort. Eventually, they become second nature, a part of our neural software, allowing us to communicate effortlessly in the new language. Similarly, when learning to perform a task, such as playing a musical instrument or driving a car, the initial stages involve deliberate practice and attention. Each action, from pressing a piano key to shifting a gear, activates specific neural pathways. Through continuous practice, these pathways become stronger and more efficient, forming a complex network. Eventually, the act of playing a piece of music or navigating through traffic becomes an automatic response ingrained in our muscle memory and neurological softwares. This transition from hardware to software in our neural architecture is not limited to physical skills or linguistic abilities. It also applies to emotional and cognitive behaviors. For instance, our responses to certain situations, be it stress, joy, or anger, are also a result of these neural networks. An individual who frequently practices mindfulness or stress management techniques will develop neural networks that automatically trigger relaxation responses in stressful situations. The field of neuroscience has unveiled some fascinating insights, particularly in the area of mental practice and its impact on the brain. Research in this domain has demonstrated that mental practice, or the act of vividly imagining performing a task, can induce physical changes in the brain that are similar to those that occur with actual physical practice. This finding is not only intriguing, but also profoundly transformative in understanding the power of the human mind. One notable example of this phenomenon is observed in individuals who mentally rehearse playing the piano. Studies have shown that individuals who have never physically touched a piano, but who regularly engage in mental practice of playing it, develop neural networks that closely resemble those of individuals who physically practice the instrument. This is a clear indication that the brain is processing these imagined activities in much the same way as it does real physical actions. What this research suggests is that the brain does not make a strong distinction between a real and an imagined activity. When a person vividly imagines playing the piano, the same neural pathways are activated as if they were actually playing the instrument. This activation leads to the strengthening of these pathways, mirroring the effects of real practice. It's a testament to the brain's remarkable ability to adapt and reorganize itself based merely on thought processes and imagination. The implications of this are wide-ranging. For athletes, for instance, mental rehearsal can be a powerful tool in enhancing performance by vividly imagining themselves executing a perfect routine or play. Athletes can strengthen the neural pathways involved in those physical activities, even when they're not on the field or court. This mental practice can lead to improved physical performance and skill mastery. In the realm of rehabilitation, this principle has profound applications as well. Patients recovering from strokes or injuries who may be limited in their ability to perform physical exercises can benefit from mental practice. By engaging in mental rehearsals, they can contribute to the reorganization and healing of their brain, facilitating recovery even when physical practice is not possible. Furthermore, this research challenges our understanding of the limits of mental influence over our physical being. It opens up avenues for exploring how focused thought and imagination can be used to enhance learning, develop new skills, and possibly aid in healing processes. The brain's inability to distinguish between real and imagined activities suggests that we have a powerful tool at our disposal: our imagination, which can be harnessed for significant self-improvement and healing. The concept of mental rehearsal is a transformative one, extending far beyond the realm of learning musical instruments. It involves the practice of consistently visualizing and experiencing a new way of being or performing a task in the mind's eye. This process is akin to creating and reinforcing pathways in the brain, much like a pianist practices scales to perfect their art. However, the implications of mental rehearsal span across various facets of life, influencing not only our skills and abilities, but also our identity and self perception. At its core, mental rehearsal is about envisioning a desired outcome or behavior repeatedly until it becomes a deeply ingrained part of our neural architecture. This mental exercise effectively lays down new neural tracks in the brain. With each repetition, these tracks become more defined and robust, eventually forming a part of our subconscious identity. This phenomenon is not limited to physical actions but extends to emotional responses, cognitive patterns, and even our interaction with the world. For instance, an individual aspiring to become more confident might mentally rehearse situations where they act confidently. They might visualize themselves speaking assertively in a meeting or remaining calm in a challenging situation. By repeatedly imagining these scenarios, the individual is creating neural pathways associated with confidence. Over time, these pathways become stronger, making confident behavior more automatic and less of a conscious effort. Similarly, mental rehearsal can be applied to managing emotional responses. Someone prone to anxiety could mentally rehearse calm and composed reactions to typically stressful scenarios. By repeatedly visualizing themselves handling these situations with ease, they can begin to alter their instinctual emotional responses. This practice can gradually shift their default state from one of anxiety to one of calmness. The impact of mental rehearsal on identity is particularly profound. Our sense of self is largely shaped by the narratives we believe about who we are. By mentally rehearsing being a certain type of person, be it confident, calm, compassionate, or resilient, we start to embody these traits. The repeated mental practice embeds these qualities in our neural makeup, slowly but surely altering our self perception and consequently our identity. This process also demonstrates the brain's remarkable plasticity and its ability to adapt based on thought patterns. It underscores the power of the mind in shaping not just our abilities and behaviors, but also the very essence of who we are. It suggests that we are not fixed entities bound by our current limitations or traits. Instead, we have the capacity to evolve and transform ourselves through the power of thought and visualization. The power of thought to elicit physical changes in the body has been a subject of fascination and study in recent years, with experiments providing compelling evidence of this phenomenon. These studies reveal that the mere act of thinking about physical activity can produce changes in the body similar to those achieved through actual physical exertion. This groundbreaking concept opens up new understandings of the mind body connection and the potential of thought to influence physical health and abilities. One of the most striking examples of this phenomenon is seen in studies where individuals engage in mental rehearsals of physical activities. People who have mentally practiced a specific physical task, such as playing a piano or lifting weights, have demonstrated measurable physical improvements akin to those who physically engaged in the activity. For instance, individuals who mentally rehearsed lifting weights showed a significant increase in muscle strength, a change that is traditionally attributed to physical exercise. This indicates that the brain can signal the muscles to strengthen and adapt merely through the process of focused and deliberate thought. These findings suggest a profound interconnection between our thoughts and our physical bodies. When we mentally rehearse an activity, the brain fires the same neural pathways as it would during the actual physical performance of that activity. This neural firing, in turn, sends signals to the muscles and other parts of the body, triggering adaptations similar to those caused by physical training. The implications of this are vast, suggesting that our mental state and thought patterns can play a crucial role in physical conditioning and rehabilitation. Furthermore, the idea that thought alone can signal genes in new ways is a revolutionary concept, challenging traditional notions of gene expression and physical adaptation. It implies that our genetic expression, often thought to be a fixed aspect of our physiology, can be influenced and altered through our mental processes. This opens up the possibility of using focused thought as a tool for physical healing and improvement, potentially offering new avenues for treating injuries, managing physical conditions, and enhancing athletic performance. In the context of rehabilitation, for example, individuals who are unable to engage in physical exercise due to injury or illness could potentially use mental rehearsal as a means to maintain or even improve muscle strength and function. This could dramatically change the approach to physical therapy and recovery, offering an effective alternative when traditional exercises are not feasible. Moreover, these experiments shed light on the power of visualization and positive thinking in achieving physical goals. Athletes, dancers, and performers have long used visualization techniques to enhance their skills and performances. The scientific backing that thought alone can lead to physical changes provides a solid foundation for these practices, encouraging more people to incorporate mental rehearsal into their training regimens. The concept of emotional addiction plays a critical role in understanding the nature of many addictive behaviors. Often, what lies at the heart of these addictions is not just a craving for a substance or a habit, but a deeper, more complex emotional addiction. Individuals frequently engage in addictive behaviors as a means to suppress, avoid, or escape from certain uncomfortable or painful feelings. These feelings could stem from a variety of sources: past traumas, unresolved conflicts, or chronic stressors, and the addictive behavior becomes a coping mechanism, albeit a destructive one. This emotional addiction is a cycle where individuals become habituated to certain emotional states, even if these states are negative or harmful. Over time, these repeated emotional experiences create neural pathways in the brain that make these states more likely to recur. Breaking free from this cycle involves a process of unlearning these emotional responses and patterns. It requires recognizing and addressing the underlying emotional needs or wounds that fuel the addiction. The journey of unlearning these emotional patterns is akin to transforming from matter to energy. This metaphorical transformation represents a shift from being anchored in past, often negative emotional states to embracing a state of potentiality and change. As individuals liberate themselves from the chains of past emotional addictions, they free up mental and emotional energy that was previously consumed by these patterns. This liberated energy then becomes available for creating positive changes and pursuing new opportunities. Detaching emotionally from the past is a crucial step in this transformative process. It involves a conscious effort to let go of old emotional habits and narratives that have defined one's sense of self and reality. This detachment doesn't mean forgetting the past or ignoring its impact. Rather, it involves reframing past experiences, understanding their role in one's life, and choosing to no longer let them dictate one's emotional state and decisions. As one detaches from these past emotional patterns, there is an emergence of new possibilities. Freed from the constraints of past, present realities, individuals can now envision and create a new future. This process is not just about setting goals or making plans. It's about stepping into a field of energy where potentiality exists beyond the limitations of time and space. In this field, the future is not a linear extension of the past, but an open horizon of possibilities. This liberated state enables individuals to consciously shape their destiny. With the energy reclaimed from past emotional addictions, one can now invest in personal growth, positive relationships, and meaningful pursuits. This energy fuels creativity, motivation, and resilience, essential ingredients for a fulfilling and purposeful life. Moreover, this transformation has a ripple effect that extends beyond the individual. As people break free from their emotional addictions and start creating positive changes in their lives, they also influence those around them. Their journey can inspire others to embark on their paths of emotional liberation and transformation. The concept of emotional addiction provides a deeper understanding of the nature of many addictions. By recognizing and unlearning these emotional patterns, individuals can liberate themselves from the constraints of the past and reclaim their energy. This process allows them to detach from past, present realities and step into a field of limitless potential where they have the power to shape their future and destiny. This transformative journey is not just about overcoming addiction. It's about embracing a life of possibility, growth, and fulfillment